The orchard that praised God while its neighbors starved. A parable of faith, fruit, and the Creator who walks among his trees. They built a sign big enough to be seen for miles, but they never walked among the trees. Leaves grew loud, fruit grew scarce. One defended the orchard with words, one believed but waited too long. One stayed and gave what little he had. And when the Creator arrived, he did not measure faith by sound, but by love made visible. I did not plant you to look alive, he said. I planted you to give life. The orchard. The town called itself Blessed Grove. For miles travelers could see it, a massive wooden sign towering over the highway, carved with gold letters. We are the Lord's orchard. Below it hung banners with verses. Loudspeakers played hymns at sunrise. On Sundays, the streets filled with well-dressed families, voices lifted high. The town looked alive, but just beyond the sign, past the polished streets and manicured lawns, stood the orchard, rows upon rows of trees, tall, leafy, impressive, and barren. Every year, the orchard owner came seeking fruit. Every year, he found excuses. The trees, they became the orchard owner. The Creator, the one who formed root and branch and breath, had planted every tree with purpose. No tree was an accident. No soil was wasted. Each was planted to bear fruit for others. Ethan, the defender, the tree of leaves. Jesus never asked his followers to look faithful. He asked them to abide. We are saved by grace alone, but grace never stands alone. Living faith bears fruit, not to earn salvation, but because Christ's life flows through us. The question is not whether we praise the orchard owner. The question is this: are we becoming the orchard he planted us to be? Ethan's tree was planted near the gate. It grew fast and tall. Its leaves were broad and polished, catching the sun, casting shade. From a distance, it looked strong, almost righteous. The Creator had planted Ethan's tree to bear fruit of truth joined with mercy, to shelter the weary, to speak wisdom with humility, to defend what was good by living it. But Ethan's tree bent toward approval. Its strength fed leaves, not fruit. Its branches spread outward, but its roots stayed shallow. When questions came, Ethan stood like a guard. Why are the hungry still hungry here? The orchard is righteous, he answered. The problem is the people. He pointed to the sign, to the leaves, to appearances, but Ethan never crossed the fence. His shoes stayed clean. His hands never touched the soil. The Creator found shade there, but no nourishment. Marisol, the comfortable believer, the tree of delayed fruit. Marisol's tree was planted along a well-watered path. It was healthy, balanced, full of promise. The Creator had planted her to bear fruit of compassion in season. Bread for the hungry, presence for the lonely, gentleness for the wounded. And the fruit did grow, but it was always left hanging. I will harvest tomorrow, the tree seemed to say, when life slows down, when I have more time. Marisol believed the owner was good. Truly, she did. But her days were full. 2 jobs, children to feed, bills stacked high. When she passed a neighbor begging for help, she whispered, "I'll pray for you." And she meant it. But prayer never became action. Seasons passed, the fruit ripened, then spoiled. The ground beneath her tree remained dry, not from drought, but from hesitation. The Creator did not find rebellion there. He found unreleased goodness. Caleb, the one who stayed, the tree of quiet yield. Caleb's tree stood at the far edge of the orchard where pavement cracked and streetlights failed. It grew slowly. Its bark was rough. Its branches bore scars from storms no one else endured. The Creator had planted him to bear fruit of sacrificial love, small, steady, nourishing fruit, meant to be picked and given away. Each morning before dawn, Caleb entered the orchard. He felt the dryness of the soil. He tied sagging branches. He worked until his hands bled. When he found fruit, scarce, bruised, imperfect, he carried it out quietly, to the widow with no heat, to the sick man who lost his job, to the foreign family no one would speak to. Caleb never spoke at the gate. No one applauded him, but the poor knew his footsteps. His roots ran deep through grief, fatigue, and obscurity, drinking where others would not kneel. When the Creator came near, he rested his hand on Caleb's trunk. Here was a tree doing exactly what it was created to do. The crisis. Then came the season that broke everything. The rains failed, jobs disappeared, hospitals turned people away, new families arrived, hungry, frightened, unwanted. Children cried in the night, the orchard was surrounded by need, and still the sign shone bright. The hymns grew louder, the speeches grew sharper. We can't help everyone, some shouted. They should have planned better, others said, and Ethan's voice rose above them all. If they truly believed, they wouldn't be here. The Creator arrives. One night, as arguments echoed beneath the sign, a stranger walked into town. His clothes were plain, his hands were scarred. No one welcomed him, no one recognized him. He walked past the gate, past the speeches, past the music. He went straight into the orchard, and he wept. At dawn, he called the town together, not at the sign, but among the trees. The branches rattled in the wind like dry bones. The Creator lifted a branch. Leaves full, fruitless. You call yourselves my orchard, he said, yet you refuse to feed what I planted you to serve. He turned to Ethan. You defended my name, but you never bore my heart. Ethan trembled. He turned to Marisol. You trusted my goodness, but you buried it beneath comfort and fear. Tears fell freely now. Then he turned to Caleb. You stayed, he said simply. The judgment. The Creator's voice hardened, not with rage, but grief. A tree is not condemned for being weak, he said. He said, but for refusing to bear fruit when life flows through it. I was hungry and you debated policy. I was sick and you checked your distance. I was a stranger and you guarded your gate. The sign cracked in the wind. The gold letters split, and the town finally understood. They had not rejected belief. They had rejected obedience born of love. The consequences. Some walked away, angry. This is too hard, they said. This costs too much. But others fell to their knees. Ethan stepped into the dirt. Marisol lowered her branches, and many followed Caleb into the orchard. The orchard did not flourish overnight, but roots drank deeply again, and fruit, real fruit, began to grow. The fruit of the Spirit describes what life looks like when the Holy Spirit is actively shaping a person's character. These are not separate gifts to pick from, but one unified fruit with many expressions, showing spiritual maturity and transformation. These virtues don't come from willpower alone. They grow from relationship, not performance. Evidence, not achievement. Fruit is the result of abiding in God, John 15, not something forced or faked. Fruit directly challenges natural human tendencies like selfishness, anger, pride, and impatience. The fruits work together. Love is the foundation. Every other fruit flows from it. Joy and peace reflect inner stability rooted in God, not circumstances. Patience, kindness, and goodness shape how we treat others. Faithfulness and gentleness guide consistency and humility. Self-control guards all the others, keeping desires aligned with God's will.